Hi, I'm Tracy, VE3TWM. Thank you for tuning in to Outdoors on the Air. If you are new to ham radio or are looking to upgrade your current transceiver, you may be dismayed to find that prices for new gear are higher than what you are comfortable paying for. The alternative to buying new is to purchase a used rig. Opting to buy a used radio can be a very good decision. While you are not getting a factory warranty, you are typically getting a better price than buying new, and you don't have to pay sales tax. Additionally, you will see a wider range of choices on the used market, as older units are being sold alongside newer ones. From a quality perspective, many older transceivers were built to a high standard, are serviceable, and still function well, providing they have been taken care of. Here are the key things you'll need to know before buying a used transceiver. The model of rig you are looking for, the current fair market value of that rig, the condition of any rig you find for sale, and the trustworthiness of the seller. Let's start with selecting a desired rig. Don't be sucked in by a pretty front panel alone. To avoid disappointment when buying a used radio, you have to do some research. That sounds like work, doesn't it? But if you enjoy ham radio, you'll probably find the research is interesting. As a bonus, you're going to learn things that will help you use the rig once you have purchased it. So what specific rig are you looking for? If you are not sure, then draw up a list of desired features. Once you've done that, you can take a look at what's available. Choose a few candidates, then learn about each candidate radio's reputation with regard to performance and reliability. Look for and read as many online user reviews as you can find. eham.net is a good place to start. Be prepared to change your mind about the rig you are targeting if you discover there are a high percentage of unhappy former owners. Here is a caveat with respect to user reviews. Not all user reviews are rational. Many negative reviews are tainted with the emotion of a bad experience. People are far more likely to complain about something that fails than praise a product that works well. Additionally, you can't really know for certain if the rig was abused and whether abuse led to the failure. Now that you have found a reliable model to pursue, it's time to calculate the reasonable selling price for that rig. You need to do this to ensure you are not paying more than the unit is worth. At some point in the future, you will probably want to sell that unit yourself. Don't pay such a high price for it now that you won't be able to recoup a good chunk of that investment. Even though you shouldn't overpay, I recommend not bickering over price when considering buying a used rig. If the rig is not priced attractively on the listing, disregard that listing. Haggling over price can lead to bad feelings. I believe it's in your best interests for both parties to feel positive about the experience. That way, if you ever need to go back to the buyer to seek help after the transaction, you are more likely to be warmly received. Let's go back to the method of determining a good price for the rig you want. Check the new transceiver market for a current model that has similar specifications to your target radio. These ones come new in a box with a full manufacturer's warranty. I would suggest you take 2/3 of the new comparable rig's selling price and use that as your baseline. It is my estimation that you should never pay more for a used radio than 2/3 the price of a comparable new model. This is a general rule and not always applicable, especially when pricing HF rigs that are more than 20 years old. For a variety of reasons, transceivers of that age should be considered less valuable than their more modern counterparts. The only exception here are transceivers that are considered collectibles. Those rigs are not the focus of this video. Now that you have the baseline, watch the online used gear classifieds. How much are the rigs, which are similar in specifications and capability to your target rig, selling for? When you see one come up at a given price, does it sell quickly or remain on the list for a while? Generally speaking, if the rig stays online for a week or more, it's priced too high. When a rig sells quickly, how close was the price to your baseline? Was the selling price higher or lower than your baseline? By keeping an eye on the market, you'll learn what the market price is and not overpay. It's time to chat about physical inspection. Ideally, you want to see the transceiver operating before parting with your money. If conditions permit, arrange to see the rig in operation. Have a watt meter, a dummy load, and coaxial patch cables on hand so you can test the transmitter on all bands. Perform a thorough visual inspection. Check the knobs on the front panel and the connections on the back of the rig. Are they solid? When the rig is turned on, try all the knobs and buttons to ensure they are working properly. Does the rig show signs of being opened frequently? Look at the screw heads holding the cover in place for signs of screwdriver slippage. That's a sign the rig has been opened multiple times. Is the rig very dusty? Does it smell like smoke? It's very difficult to thoroughly clean a smoky rig. If possible, make a contact with the rig and get a radio check. If the transceiver features a built-in antenna tuner, try it out. Built-in antenna tuner repairs are often expensive. All the above is well and good, but what do you do if you are not geographically close to the seller? You obviously can't go get a hands-on demo, but you can ask the seller if he will record a demonstration on video and post it to YouTube or Dropbox. If that isn't an option, you are definitely going to be taking a chance. At least ask for good quality, high-resolution photos of the rig so you can determine its cosmetic condition. If you're really careful, you might ask the seller to shoot the photos showing the rig with a sheet of paper upon which is written today's date or your call sign, so you know you are looking at the current condition of the radio. On the topic of long-distance transactions, I do not recommend buying used transceivers off eBay. The prices on eBay are often inflated, no doubt due to the auction mentality driving the users. The next item of business is to have a dialogue with the seller. I strongly recommend you talk to the person you are considering purchasing from. Whether on the phone or in person, have a discussion with the seller so you can learn more about him. It's nice to think that amateur radio is a brotherhood of respectful, honorable people, but in reality, the ham radio community is just a smaller version of our society at large. This means you'll encounter all types. While most of the people are honest and open, there is a small percentage that are not. Don't go into interrogation mode. Just have a friendly discussion. Be sure to ask what the seller likes and doesn't like about the rig. Inquire about how the rig was used. Was it carted out to field day or used in a vehicle? These situations could have exposed the rig to rough handling. Was it a backup rig? If yes, it might be in very good condition due to having sat idle. If the seller purchased the rig used, did he know anything of the previous owner and that person's experience with the radio? If anything about this dialogue impacts you in a negative way, proceed with extreme caution. Does the seller reciprocate in the dialogue? Is he pleasant or grouchy? Or is he standoffish and only wants to address the matter at hand? If you are not comfortable with the seller's demeanor, be prepared to walk away from the deal. If you are satisfied with the condition of the rig and the quality of the person you are conducting business with, go ahead and make the transaction. Remember that the seller owes you nothing from that point forward. It's completely irrational to take the rig home, plug it into a bad antenna or a wonky power supply, then blame the seller for any issues that arise as a result. The bottom line for me is that you can get a high-quality transceiver from the used market. By being careful and going in with a plan, you can pay less for your ham radio fun and enjoy yourself while doing it. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you can think of any buying tips I have missed, be sure to leave those in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please click on the thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos. 73 from Tracy, VE3 TWM.